All right, how to turn any rejection around, how to avoid rejection. Firstly, everybody gets rejected. It is something that you cannot avoid, but how you take it is very important, and how to use the best possible strategy to avoid being rejected, and being in the game, being able to play the game, and have an opportunity to win in every single interaction that you get into is by far the best way to go about it, and by not actually rejecting yourself by using poor strategies. My first example is going to be Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most desired men on planet Earth. Cristiano Ronaldo was rejected in Sydney, Australia. I'm going to tell you his story, but before we kick it off, I'm Dave, and this channel is dedicated to giving you no bullshit, novel dating advice for the modern man. My book is now available in the description. And if you want some one-on-one coaching with me, fill out my form. I'm a little bit busy at the moment, but I'm a little bit backlogged, but maybe in the next month or so I'll be able to take on some more students. So, Cristiano Ronaldo. What he did was he went into a Sydney shopping centre. Superstar. Everybody recognized him. All eyes were on Cristiano Ronaldo, and there was a girl working in I believe it was the perfume aisle, and he goes over and he starts up a conversation, and he pretty much just went direct, like super direct, and he just invited her straight over to his place, and he said, do you have a friend that you can bring as well, and we can have a threesome, something along those lines. My understanding, I could have it wrong, but my understanding is that that is pretty much how it played out. I think the girl that he spoke to went to the media afterwards because she wanted to steal some clout from Cristiano Ronaldo, but my understanding is that that is how the conversation went down, and he's so high value that he went super direct, invited her around, said, bring a friend, we'll have a threesome, and that would generally work for one of the most desirable men on planet Earth. Now, if you are not one of the most desirable men on planet Earth, should you be using the same strategy as Cristiano Ronaldo? Probably not. You probably shouldn't. And even Cristiano Ronaldo, he was rejected by this woman. She said, I think she said yes, and maybe he handed over her number. I don't know the entire facts of this story. Maybe one of you guys can search it up and give me some facts, but my understanding is, because I remember hearing it on the radio, or it was on the news or something along those lines, that was the basic story, that Cristiano Ronaldo was rejected by one of our girls, and the media was so proud of our honourable girl, you know. But you see, if you think about it, okay, well, he's a superstar, he's got a time constraint, he's in Sydney for a short period of time, and he just makes a move. He probably made a move on several girls that day, and I dare say every day it would work for someone like that, who is in the spotlight, so famous and very desirable. But if you're going super direct, how's that going to play out for you? Well, what you're doing is, if Cristiano Ronaldo can go direct and get rejected like that, and you're not on his level, well, I dare say none of you are. I'm not anywhere on his level. You're going to get rejected faster, more rapidly, more often. It's going to happen all the time. And so my issue here is, if you go over to a girl and say, hey, I think you're really hot, come around for a threesome, I dare say almost all of you guys out there will be rejected instantly. You might find a few yes girls. It might work in a nightclub if a girl just finds you super attractive, she's drunk and her friends have left her and she's like, oh, this guy's hot. But if you are trying to get a girl on your level or above your level, your SMV, this is pretty much never going to work. It really isn't. And logically speaking, think about it. It's not going to work. Quite often, the girl is either rejecting your conversation starter, the way you go about it, rejecting the way your strategy, your conversation started, the way that you get this interaction off the ground. She's rejecting that, and she's assuming that that is indicative of who you are. She's not rejecting you because she doesn't know you. She's rejecting your poor strategy. And so this is why I like to think of indirect as a better example. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an example of what happened to me yesterday. What happened to me yesterday is I was leaving my place and I was going to the gym. There's a nice, good 1.5 kilometer walk between, say, the train station and the gym. And I walked down to the gym, and there's this long walkway. It's just pretty much one walkway which is off the street, and it's two-way traffic. There's bicycles and everything, and there's one long footpath. I was walking to the gym, and on my way to the gym there was this beautiful girl going the other direction, and we're walking towards each other. She was very nice. She was very well dressed. She looked like she had some sort of a corporate job. She was dressed really nicely. It was about lunchtime. She was walking to the center of the CBD pretty much, and there was some shops there, and I was kind of leaving the CBD. It's only really a kilometer walk. She was walking towards me. I slowed down visibly and waited for eye contact, made eye contact. She gets a little bit past me, she gets a little bit behind me, and I'm like, hey, how you going? Looks like we're neighbors. That was just what I used. It wasn't direct. I didn't tell her she was attractive. I didn't tell her Cristiano Ronaldo style that I wanted a threesome. I just had we're neighbors, a familiarity type thing. She goes, oh, maybe we are. And I said, oh, well, look, I've only got 10 seconds to talk to you. What's your name, just in case I see you around? Now, I knew in the back of my mind, if she's going that way and I'm going that way, when I get to my location, I'm going to turn around and come back, and there's a good chance she's going back the other direction. So she told me her name. Jenny, I'll make up a name. She goes, I'm Jenny. I go, oh, well, look, that's a good little 10-second little chat. Maybe I'll see you around, Jenny. I got a name. She went, I went to the gym. I spent, turns out I spent an hour and a half in the gym. I come back. On the way back, Jenny's walking the opposite direction. So it was, at this stage, it went from a cold approach to a warm approach. And that is as indirect as you can get. It is very sustainable. You can go around meeting people just by saying, oh, it looks like we're neighbors. Oh, look, we work in the same kind of area. These type of there's no pressure. It's just getting to know people in your environment and being social. That's really the goal here. And then coming back, I saw her and I go, oh, Jenny. And she just stopped, she smiled, and even though I'd literally only known her for 10 seconds with the other approach, in her mind, we were already kind of friends and kind of neighbors, when really we don't really know each other at all. But I said, hey, Jenny. And she stopped. She's like, oh, I'll see you again. And in the back of a woman's mind that has watched way too many romantic Hollywood stories, that fate, the fate, it's like, this was fate. It was like the movie Sliding Doors. It was as if we were supposed to meet. But to some extent, it was kind of manufactured by me. And then she stopped, we had a little chat, she told me what she was doing, she had some lunch, she told me I got a lot of information. She obviously lives over only about a kilometer that way. She comes down for lunch quite often. I figured out how we can fit into each other's lives. I discovered that she's a super intelligent girl, that self-made woman, and a bit of an entrepreneur. She's doing really well for herself. I found out so many things about her, and she seemed pretty cool to me. She seemed very level-headed, and we just had a conversation. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that are the direct guys. They're going to say, you're hiding your dick, you're scared. Well, when a guy tells me that I'm scared to talk to a girl and show my dick and be a tough guy, I instantly think of when a woman tells a man, oh, well, you gotta pay for the woman, be a man. It's like you're shaming other men for not taking on your ideology when your ideology and your method is faulty. That's just my opinion on it, and I dare say that my strategy will stand up against any of the direct day game guys or direct night game. Is a different kettle of fish, different game altogether. But indirect and this type of sustainable way, I can scale it up. I can teach literally 1 million of you guys this type of game, and you are never going to be get in trouble by society. Security guards are never going to have an issue with you. You're never going to get banned from any area. You're very rarely, if ever, going to have arguments with women in general. Society's not even going to know that you're into pickup or picking up girls at all. It's going to be so indirect and sustainable, and so it'll be so. I can scale this up, and this my style of approaching and getting to know girls. You can do it anywhere, literally anywhere, and it is sustainable. So this type of approach, I can do these all day, and no one's ever going to assume that I'm picking up girls. But if in that same situation off the approach, a highly educated, intelligent, classy girl, and she was bam, she was dressed really well, if a guy went direct on her, in my scenario, if we could somehow relive the day over and over and over again and try, like the movie Groundhog Day. I love that scene in the Groundhog Day where there was a girl that he was attracted to, and he kept trying to pick her up every single day until he figured out the right strategy to pick her up. If we were to do that, and a direct guy would go and do this, he would never, or very rarely, if ever, have success, and my success rate would be far greater. He would end up at the end of 100 times of Groundhog Day, reliving that day, every day getting the same number, and her not replying instantly, and him scratching his head figuring out what is going wrong. And I'll figure out a way to have a genuine conversation, genuine connection, and make it happen most of the time. And so this is what I'm trying to get across to you guys, is that you can turn around any rejection by just having a conversation, being in the game, and with that comes experience by being in the conversation and getting to know the girl and having feel. You'll have a feel, you get a genuine feel for each girl that you meet. The better you get at this, the more likely you are to go, oh, well, I've learned something about her that I'm not really that into, and you will find yourself rejecting more girls than girls rejecting you, because you actually get a chance to get to know her, instead of just going over and saying, I think you're really hot, and come over for a threesome, Cristiano Ronaldo style. I could be wrong, but my understanding is that's how it played out. But I just wanted to get that across to you guys. This is how it played out, and here's a few texts on how this actually played out, and I think it played out quite well. If you like this video, click the subscribe button and click the bell icon. And if you want some coaching by me, the form's in the description, and I've got a 30-day cold approach challenge. If you want to learn how I do it, there's 40 videos on how to run your cold approach in an indirect manner, which is the way I prefer. Especially at the moment, I'm happy to adapt and innovate if Western society changes, but at the moment in 2020, this is by far the most effective way to meet women during cold approach or whatever. I'll see you tomorrow.